because if you haven't had water, you don't. You obviously can't eat. You don't have electricity. Literally, it's a war situation. It's a warlike situation. It's the same thing that the women and children in Sudan are experiencing. Literally.
And you must add that there was a battle to take over Goma for 2 days, 2 to 3 days, and as of now, there are still dead bodies in the streets. Most media are not talking about it. So when I'm talking to people, they say, right outside, we have all these dead bodies, right? The soldiers killed on both sides. You don't have access to water, you don't have access to food, and you don't have access to electricity. And people are putting out press statements and so on, not realizing the gravity of the situation. From the beginning of the year to now, right? From the beginning of January to now, just in 2025, over 400,000 people have been displaced.
Wow.
Just due to this conflict, right? In about 30 days. So the situation is dire. So raising our voices is important because the AU is meeting, right? I will want to believe, for example, that John Mahama of Ghana, as he engages in with the African Union or with ECOWAS, may say something about the Congo. But the reality is, since the situation has happened in the Congo, there is no statement from the Ghanaian government on the situation in the Congo. Why isn't there? Because this is not a priority for Ghanaian citizens. The Ghanaian citizens have not mobilized the government for that. I could say the same thing in Nigeria, right? But our leaders end up in these meetings where they said there is an emergency meeting of the AU on the situation in the Congo. So we'll send our government officials there. What message are they going to take if the people of the country are not even paying attention about it? They will love to get on the flights, first business class, first class.
Private jets,
go
please.
To the AU.
No, private jets.
Yeah. And then vote based on foreign interest, not the interest of the people. That's why it's so critical to remind people. Last point I want to make. I strongly believe Pan-Africanism is what's going to save us. Because if we understand the tenets of Pan-Africanism, the situation in the Congo is not a problem over there. The situation in Sudan is not a problem over there too as well. That we actually understand that every single African problem is our problem. We start looking at African nations as provinces. Those were the ideas of the founding fathers and mothers of the African Union. Those who pushed for Pan-African unity. That's why you could have Nigerians coming to Ghana in the 50s and mobilizing and vice versa for independence. That when they decided to come together under Pan-Africanism, we actually got a result. Many African countries became independent because of the Pan-African movement. We are in the second independence movement, and we are witnessing it in the Alliance of Sahel states because they are thinking this way too, right? It's now, how do we make that even much wider? That when we start thinking about development, security, stability, and sovereignty of our land, we all have the same message, and we all look out for one another. So that's what I will present, that the path to peace and stability in the Congo is to push for a Pan-African ideal, that the situation in the Congo must end now so that Congo can harness what it has for the advancement of the African continent.
All right, I want to go back to the phone line. 0201-277-0993. 60 seconds is all you have. Hello, welcome to Global Review.
Hello, good evening, Maryann.
Good evening.
God bless you.
Oh dear, please call me back. Apologies for that. Hello.
Hello, Maryann.
Good evening.
Good evening. Today calling back. It's one of the things I want to point out in this.
Today you have called before. We're not taking calls twice. Thank you. Let's let other people call, all right? Uzo, so sorry about that. Please call us back. The phone lines are acting up, and that's why we're unable to take some of your calls, but keep trying. I want to read some more messages. Olatunde here says, it's a pity that Africa as a whole is still seriously enslaved by Westerners and also by our own leaders. The happenings in the DRC is not different from every other African country, and he calls it modern slavery. Thank you very much for your message. Let's take a call here quickly. Hello.
Oh, hello, Mary. This
Yes.
is Joy.
Hello, Joy. Go ahead.
Okay, see, what I'm saying is that the same thing happened in DRC. Don't you think the same thing happened in Nigeria as well? And we are just not doing anything. To me, I think we're not doing anything about it. We're just, being quiet and looking at other people's own. Our president, I don't think anything is being done. And if this thing continues, one day, whatever is happening every other place that we're talking about now might start happening in Nigeria. So it's not high time ECOWAS, AU, all of them sit down for them to talk. Africa is like a place. I don't know where they want to turn Africa to dungeon. They just come, take what they want, and go to their places. The Western world, the other man that spoke in a borderline said, Africans are the ones that will fix Africa. And as it is now, it is high time Nigeria also look, because we are the most populous black nation. Whatever that comes now in Nigeria that's happening, I bet you Africa is not. It's not going to be easy for the West African world. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Joyce, for calling. Hello, welcome to Global Review.
Hello, Maryann.
Yes.
Yes, my question is this. Why is it that it's almost the same problems all over African countries? And why is our president, almost all of them, not having milk of human, for their citizens? The same problem in Africa. What do we do? Are we not voting rightly? Or what is our problems in these African countries? Please. Because it's just the same problem. Ill treatments all over African countries. Why? Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling. I'll just take one last call and then come back to my guest. Hello.
Yeah, hi, Maryann.
Yes.
How are you?
Good evening.
Lapuchu is my name.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I greet your guest. And I sympathize with our African brothers, what they're passing through. No electricity, no water, no food. It's a very bad situation right now. And war is not a good thing, We always pray for peace. Let there be peace. But it's not a good lesson for anyone to learn. At the same time, I don't know, is there anywhere people can be of help out, I don't know.
The problem is, I'm sure that there's food, there's water, and the medications that would want to go into Goma, but how does it get there? Well, it's a good question to ask my guest. Thank you, Rapper. Let me ask him. So he's saying that there are people who obviously want to support the people of Goma, but how do they do that? I think you're muted. You're muted.
Yes, I will always say that people should support Friends of the Congo. Friends of the Congo is an organization tied to organization even in Goma. I work with them directly. Today, Yole Africa, which is an NGO in Goma, been in touch with the staff. They are doing what they can to support. So if you send any support to Friends of the Congo, that will do it. And you can reach them from the website or from the freecongo.org website. If you go to freecongo.org, there are ways you can support the Congolese people, and they will channel it to the right institutions. And you're also free to support international NGOs if you feel comfortable supporting CR, or other international NGOs. I always recommend people that I work with, that I know, but there are many people doing that. So Friends of the Congo, or you go to freecongo.org and provide support. But more importantly, beyond the humanitarian support that we provide, it would be amazing to see coming out of Nigeria condemnation about the situation in the Congo and the support of the Nigerian people to the people of Goma and people of the Congo. You don't understand probably how the spirits of the people is down now. And when they see the letters of support, the messages of support, it gives them strength to keep fighting, because Congolese are feeling hurt, right? That for 29 years, we are still losing lives. They need to hear words of support, words of solidarity from Africans and allies saying that we care about you and we are with you in the struggle that you are facing.
So for those who want to support Friends of the Congo, or what was the other one?
freecongo.org.
So freecongo.org. So you can go there and find all the information on how you can support them. Are there aid agencies there on the ground, like the IRC, that's the International Red Cross, and maybe the World Food Program? Are there people there?
They are all there. They are all there. But as you probably read before the taking over of Goma, they all crossed the border to Rwanda. So the Congolese literally are with themselves. Most international NGOs moved all their stuff out of Goma because they knew that Goma was going to be taken over. But Congolese, 2 million of us, we can't just leave Goma. This is our country. So at the present time, the Congolese are left to themselves to deal with the issue. If you are coming back since yesterday, but it's not fully operational, I think that the hospitals are overwhelmed by the amount of dead bodies that they have to deal with. And also the food, right? That's the most urgent thing, access to the food and the water. So there are people working toward that from international NGOs and so on. But as we know, as I also pointed out, when the pressure came, they left Goma.
Wow. Well, they have to protect their staff. I want to say thank you, Kambale. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have. Kambale Musavuli, he is obviously from the DRC, and he is someone who's always canvassed for the freedom of the people in the DRC. Well, today is Goma. Tomorrow, God knows where it will be. But thank you so much for coming on the show, Kambale. We appreciate it. Keep up the good work.
More talk, news, and sports after this.
Let me ask you a question. What holds you back when you wake up each morning? Is it the uncertainty?
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.